Okay, let me just make an announcement on.
So speaking of Baka, we are just about to blow up one of their station.
Yeah, let's save that for the discussion.
Yeah. I thought that was this good discussion though, the main discussion, but okay.
I'm sure we'll get into Baka discussions at some point.
They're not worth it though, not that.
Shh. Okay, so we are live, gentlemen. Everybody, welcome to this roundtable discussion with the major political parties of the Alpha 1 server. We are going to have a 2 to 3 minute talk. I'm going to talk for a couple of minutes with each delegate you see that is participating. I will then allow them to ask one other delegate in here a single question, should they wish to, and they can follow up with another question. And then I'm going to allow each delegate here to have about 2 minutes of statement time, should they wish to. But first things first, let's start with introductions. Up first, we have Iron of the Libra's Orange Fleet in the Libra sector.
Yeah, hello.
We have Cannibal, leader of the Singularity in the Cygnus sector.
Good evening.
We have Flavius, or Cassius on Discord, from the Clique League in Lupus. That's when you say good evening, Cassius.
Yeah, I was muted, but hi guys.
We have Azabab of the Virgons in the Virgo sector.
Hi, everybody.
We got Aaron Kinya of the Defenders of Order from Hercules.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone.
We have Omniblivion from Crash to Textox in Fornax.
How's it going?
We have Pizza Time from the Hive in Gemini.
Howdy, howdy.
And then we have Loitsky of the Federation in Hydra.
Hello, everyone.
And Scorcher from Forever Cold War in Phoenix.
Good evening, all.
And we have Uncredible from the Old Crew in Aries.
Hey, hey.
And then Wild from Wildly Inappropriate in Lupus.
Hi, everyone.
And Admiral, who just joined.
Oh, fantastic. And then we have Admiral of the Core in Serpents. Good evening, Admiral.
Hey, how's it going?
So my first one-on-one talk is going to be with Admiral. Admiral, my first question to you, do you think anyone really believes your sector choice was a mistake?
I don't know if anyone believes it, but it was.
It's not. It wasn't a ploy to divide up your considerable political influences?
If you saw the stream, you could see my authentic reaction. I can't say it any better.
Okay. And you have not had a war yet, have you?
Yeah, I have.
Who did you go to war with?
X-Dragon.
X-Dragon. Is that war over?
X-Dragon was a rival alliance in our sector, and I tried really hard to get them to come in and join us, but the leader was stubborn, so once the ASA wore off, I wiped him out. That ended the war pretty.
Ah, I see. So it was a demoralizing victory.
More what?
You demoralized them. You won that way.
I can't hear you.
You cannot hear me? Alright, let's move on to Ian. Ian, are you for or against Baka?
It all depends on what stage they are, and we're not actually talking with the other leader in the Libra's Orange Fleet. We agreed that the big alliances now, like pretty much all that have a GT, at least one GT at least, are targets we want to talk first. But I don't know if Baka wants to talk with us. That's the thing.
Have you not had any discussions with Baka then?
No, we reach a couple leaders, but not them yet.
But you are effectively two alliances in the Libra sector, right? The Orange Fleet and the Purple Fleet?
Yeah, we just built the Purple Fleet because our non-aggression pact with the Panda's Mech Legion was kind of over because their leader just dropped out. So we built another alliance to make room for everybody that wanted to join us and to help build our station this year.
Wait, is Panda Mech Legion, are they in Libra as well?
Yes, they're in Libra.
Okay, so you three, the Libra Orange, the Libra Purple, and Panta, you are going for the throat together.
We hope so, but Panda's not very responsive later on.
Well, that's a shame. So how do you envision winning the game? Who would be the target to take out?
We don't think like as the middle sector, even with the 10-hour with every flight with the outposts, we don't think that war will be our main source because we have a full alliance with active players, but most of them joined 2-3 weeks later, so we do not have a lot of firepower at this point. But we have some strategies trying to build up the sphere. We have a lot of imperialistic players and a lot of FK farming like stations in Libra. So we are able to get resources at a faster pace. And the last couple of weeks we managed to climb the ladder like from the 15th, 20th place to the 5th place, and me and Be Frozen from like the 30ish on the players to 3 and 7, I think. And yeah, that's being active and building the alliance station to show that we can do something and try the politics way through the end.
Being in the middle sector, you have a choice of a lot of neighboring sectors. Have you reached out to all of them?
We mainly reached out to Lupus, trying to talk to Flavius about, because they are the biggest alliance like on the Iron sector, and I think that would be the first option to see if they're peaceful and want to build something together, and with Baka on their side, how they feel about that. But I think that's the first step, talking to them, because if they do not respond very well, then they can't be the enemy, and then if they're the enemy, we don't have a lot to concern about the other alliance, because they are the pretty big ones. So I think at first we need to talk to them, and then decide the rest.
That's very interesting. Flavius or Cassius here on Discord. Now that you know that the Libra sector alliance aren't very well stocked, do you think you want to work with them, or maybe just take them out to remove a possible rival?
Are you talking to me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because it didn't start formally like with everyone else. Yeah, I think alliance is the better way to go, a coalition, than war. We have a common enemy. Let's focus on that.
So, since Ian admits that he looks at Clique League as the bigger alliance, would you demand that the coalition will be created around the Lupus Dyson
Of
sphere?
course.
So
Of course.
You would want to remain in control.
Yeah, name only, but I'm not a control freak, so it's just easy going to victory, you know.
So you're currently at war with Baka and have been for a while. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's... they all of a sudden attacked me for some reason. And they hit me pretty hard, my capital. They bumped me 27 ranks down from 20-something to 50, you know? In one night. I got to a computer in the morning and I was like, what the fuck? Anyhow, we managed to recover. And we killed off some of their attack fleets, and I'm basically killing off that station that started the war in 15, 20 minutes. 30 minutes, basically. He's gonna die, I think.
So I've been told by some other leaders here that that the Clique League has some non-aggression pacts and even is talking about alliances with other sectors. How far along are those discussions?
Very premature, very short.
So you're still open to other discussions?
Very much so, yes.
All right. Dol the Cannibal.
Howdy, howdy.
So what if any, deals has Singularity made with Baka?
That's not a good question to ask me. I have no deals with what's anyone down in Sagina.
You deny any collaboration with Baka?
Absolutely.
Who are you collaborating with?
We have our own coalition. Several of the members are actually in here. It's a shame that Ben Steger is not actually here because he's an R1. We've got Admiral of the Corps. We've got Pizza Time out of the Hive. Obviously Ben Steger in UGA. And what's his name? Nuffy and Drop Bears.
So that's 5 alliances. Who are you not
Correct.
going to include in the coalition?
Well, that's the thing is Drop Bears is currently in the process of merging into us because just for the simple fact that they were the loser. So we're just going to end up bringing them in.
So your plan is to like which dice sphere would you guys want to be the controlling coalition?
I don't know yet. If I'm going to be completely honest. No, we haven't decided. Everyone's in a race right now. So whoever gets it first gets it. And then just invites the others.
Alright. Esabop? How are the Birkins going to win the game? Are you aiming for the top 3 or the top 1?
Well, I mean, what is winning really?
You want to get into the philosophical side of what winning means?
I think it would be difficult to actually win the end game as it's laid out.
I'm sorry, your voice is hilarious.
I love it.
So do you have any political affiliations outside of your own alliance right now?
No, we've talked to a few people, but we've been mainly ignored.
Mainly ignored. So I'm assuming you're using a voice modulator for this?
No, this is just my actual voice. I don't appreciate voice shaming.
Alrighty, I apologize for laughing then. Gladwin, Arenkinya in game. Defenders of the Order. Who are you allied with?
So we're actually allied with the other 2 major alliances in our sector. Trimese Companions and the Equilis Stations Co-op.
And together you're aiming for the top 3.
So that's our idea. So all of us are brand new. For all of us, this is our first age. So we're starting off with the learning curve a bit behind everyone else, but I think we're doing pretty well for ourselves.
Who would you most likely like to be aligned with in order to get the win?
You know, to be perfectly honest, I'm very happy with the group that we have. We started very early talking to each other, all within our sector, and we made it clear right from the start that, hey, we're all learning the game together. Let's play this pretty friendly. Admittedly, my server 2 account has not been so friendly.
Right. Is there anybody that you are for alliances, so that's exactly the right amount. Do you think that you will have the resources to complete the Dyson Sphere?
So I think we will. Both ourselves and TryMe are working towards our Dyson Sphere now. We have a pretty significant amount going into it. Granted, not as much as probably some of the major alliances, but like I said, this is a first for us. We're learning, and we're looking forward to the following ages.
That's fantastic. Omniblivion. How are you maintaining any competitive presence in the Alpha 1 server?
The simple answer is no.
So go ahead.
I was just gonna say our group was in at least 3 different sectors when we started in Alpha 1 because we weren't coordinated in the beginning. And so rather than trying to move everyone, we opted to migrate to server 2 and see how fast we can break that.
Would you be open to joining some other coalition on server 1 solely to feed the Dyson Sphere?
We're kind of doing that. I mean, a lot of us are keeping some queues active. We're obviously not going full speed on server 1, but a lot of us are logging in and maintaining. So we're not opposed to that. We're kind of waiting how everything fleshes out.
Who would you most likely be willing to do that for?
Probably whoever's in second place at the time whenever we do that, just because I'm interested to see how two large groups will go to war with each other if they're pretty close. So it's more, from our perspective, it's not really a picking sides thing. It's more of a let's see how the combat fleshes out at the end of the game.
Does that include Baka?
If they happen to be in number 2, then sure, yeah.
So everybody has to make sure their enemies aren't in Baka so they don't get your support.
Yeah, basically, what we don't want to see is just one coalition stopping everyone. So we kind of want to stay by the sidelines and help out.
I misspoke a little bit. I meant to say, like, we should make sure that your enemies aren't in second place so they don't get your support.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, pizza time.
Hello.
How is the Hive faring?
I think we're doing pretty well.
Are you just a puppet of Singularity?
Not necessarily, but we are under them. We do collaborate with them quite often.
I have an interesting question for you. Somebody wants to know if there is any circumstances where you could break away from Singularity.
It would have to be something major.
Something major.
Something like really major.
Flas,
I don't see that.
Hello.
So this is a very popular question that has been submitted. So people want to know, is the Federation working with Baka?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. That's a very firm stance.
Well, first off, most of my members find their sort of saturation in the Starborn Discord a bit of an off-putting thing. But we did actually speak to the leader, I think it was, of Baka. We had a short conversation that kind of stopped halfway through, and we haven't heard anything since, so we've kind of written that one off.
So you have a non-aggression pact to Singularity, correct?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
So how do you see that helping you placing in the top 3? Are you hoping to join the coalition?
Well, based on what's happened to us, we're fairly sure at this point we're not going to make the top coalition unless we pull some real things out. But based on our position in the galaxy, we've pretty much come to the conclusion that if we're going to continue on to one of the top 3, we're going to need to ally ourselves with this side of the galaxy. Really.
Understood. Just to have maybe a shorter delivering time to the Dyson Sphere. It's going to be hard to deliver resources across the galaxy.
Yes, well...
Go ahead.
I was just going to ask real quick, that actually is a good question. Does the freighters benefit from Navy base?
Let's not get into mechanics. We're simply talking politics at this point. So, Scorcher, Forever Cold War in Phoenix.
Good evening, all.
You have some allies already.
We've been busy, working behind the scenes. We obviously found ourselves next to a very noisy neighbour who is obviously absent from such discussions this evening. So when we were next to such a noisy and aggressive neighbour, and they weren't very interested in diplomacy. They specifically said to us that they weren't interested in any form of diplomacy. They only wanted to lead every single coalition of 1, 2, and 3.
So these would be Baka.
I could not possibly confirm or deny. That's how diplomacy works, right?
But you're currently at war.
Yes, you could say that we are currently at war with Baka. They have been aggressively hitting some of our bordering areas, so we've had to return the favour, shall we say. It is a shame to spread such anguish to the citizens of the Starborn Galaxy, but alas, times have to be, times are tough and we have to make these decisions.
How does the war fare?
Very well. They decided to make the first move, so we've actually returned fire in a number of their stations, and they have since been leaving us alone. They obviously found us a little bit too challenging to take on. It was a good thing. We were happy with our coordination as well. So.
Alrighty, Uncredible of the old crew in Aries.
Yeah, that's me.
How are you going to place in the top 3?
Just by, being nice.
Do you have any affiliation with other alliances?
Just one, Amber, which is in our sector.
And you plan on... You're in the same sector, so that's very convenient with the Dyson Sphere.
Yeah. So we went to war with them in the beginning. And then when we realized that being in a war with another active alliance was not going to pay off, so we made a deal with them.
How has the deal gone so far? Anybody afraid of being backstabbed?
No, it's gone really well. We're basically just like one big alliance with 40 players.
Okay. Wildly inappropriate in Lupus.
Technically we're in Andromeda, but...
Do you have alliances in Lupus?
True. Yes, we're kind of big. I think here we have 3 different alliances, but the primary one's in Andromeda. We have Lupus and Draco.
And you had a friendly relation with Crash to Desktop, who are now admitting to being rather AFK. How does that affect your plans to place in the top 3?
Well, I think contrary to everyone, I think we're pro Baka. We've played with them in other games, and so I always enjoy their cartoons that they watch and their dank memes. So I think we have.
So you're cooperating with Baka?
We're more casual on the side at this time. We have our existing naps and alliances and friends, and we're working things up in Andromeda, trying to get the resources. So right now, I think the excitement's a little too far away from us, but we'll throw our hat in whenever the decision time needs to come around.
Excellent. So I'm gonna open up for cross-delegation questions. Well, do you have a question for anybody in this room?
Yeah, I guess looking at the Cannibal and Omni or I'll touch by Cannibal, but looking at it as our original thoughts as with the population, how are you guys managing over on your sides with redoing, agreements?
Who's the question for?
Cannibal or Doll? Sorry,
Doll. Cannibal.
Howdy. So what was the whole question? I was having a hard time following
Sorry,
it, if I'm being honest.
it's as the population and with CTD kind of moving to server 2. What's your thoughts on reevaluating how we migrate on our side of the universe?
Migrate up towards Andromeda?
Well, no, you stay over there. I'm just saying, what do you think is the new how does that change the dynamics with CTD being going AFK?
Nothing at all. I'm still open to all kinds of talks. Obviously, you know my stance on Baka, so that's already a red flag. But I'm a kind person. I tend to think about these things through. I'm always down to listen to a convincing argument. So if you're free, just go ahead and get with me after this, and we can hash something out.
That's interesting. Cannibal, do you think that one more alliance is going to feel a crucial part of your team? Like, how are you going to fit that many alliances in the Confederation?
Well, the thing is that with, our Confederacy, or the Corps, whatever name we decide to go by today, the thing is that the more actors and people that we have within each sector that are able to go out and, attack targets, and the more people that we have feeding a Dyson Sphere, it just means overall that we're just going to have an easier time.
Are you not concerned that people that are contributing might not be part of the actual winning team in the end? How would they feel about that?
Again, that's what I said to Wild earlier, is that we can always hash something out. I'm of course, especially new players that are coming into the game, I'm more inclined to help them out to try and get them the win, over myself, who doesn't really care too much about a profile picture or something like that. But
all right, Scorcher, you have a question for somebody in the room?
Do I?
I'm asking.
No, not really. I'm sort of listening in. I'm very intrigued. Obviously, keeping things quiet, but it's nice to hear that there's lots of talk of diplomacy in the room. We don't expect to be the top confederation by the end of the game.
Surely you must aim for top 3.
Oh yeah, we're aiming for the top 3, and we're happy to help boost somebody up to the first one.
Okay,
and sort of ride on the coattails.
Loitsky, you have a question for anybody in the room?
Well, yeah, I did actually. It's already sort of been covered, but my question was to... hey, so we have spoken a little bit. I just wanted to sort of, on a more official terms, get sort of your view of the end game, and how sort of the smaller alliances that maybe aren't in the top 10 but should be maybe in the 10 to 20 might fit into.
Well, again, that's a question that you can hash out with. As for my coalition, the 4 or 5 alliances that I stated, obviously I have to put their interests above everyone else, just because of the pure fact that I'm working with these guys daily to make sure that we win the game. But beyond them, I'm always down to help out everyone else, try and get at least 2nd and 3rd.
I think
First place, go ahead.
I think it's firmly established that Dahl is open to discussions, which means that he's talking to everybody and nobody special?
Nope, nobody special, just not Baka.
do we have a Hammerlords?
No, we do not, unfortunately.
That's a shame.
Pizza time? I would like to...
yeah, I had a hard-hitting question for Hammerlord, but they're not here, so I have no questions.
Alrighty. Omni, you got a question for anybody in the room?
Yeah, I was going to ask Dahl why he isn't playing on server 2. What's up with that?
Oh, you don't think I'm playing on server 2? I just want to ask if you've heard of the Yellow Heaven.
Yellow Heaven. But this is a server 1 discussion. So, Arankinia, Gladwin, you got a question for anybody in the room?
No questions for me.
Alrighty, Azabab.
Does anybody think we can catch up with the Admiral's ridiculous, free loot explosion up there?
Do you have a question for anybody specific in the room?
Oh, Admiral, does he think anybody can catch up?
I think so, yeah. It just takes the right kind of...
Now, tell us the truth. Do you really think anybody can catch up?
Dude, it's only a matter of time. Yeah, we've got this early lead, great. We would technically, if it wasn't for the respawn of 2 NPCs, and just a little bit of inactivity from some of our members, we would be at 8 GTs today.
Interesting. What about you, Cassius? You got a question for anybody in the room? Obviously not. Ayan, you want to ask somebody a question? Oh, wait. Okay, he's back.
Not really, but I'm open to private discussions about politics.
Anything you want to know about from these leaders that are in the room presently?
No, I'm listening in. I'm learning.
Alrighty. Ayan, your turn to ask a question.
Yeah, my main question would be to Flavius, but he answered on the opening section. So
what was the question?
If they were open to discussions about making a coalition or not, and how they feel about Baka and their neighbors, but that's all.
That's all covered. Okay, fantastic. Admiral, you got a question for anybody in the room?
Yeah, I've actually got a couple. One for Dahl.
Shoot.
I want to know whether you think by the Alliance lockdown in this iteration, if we will have 1 Alliance slot open for the coalition. We'll start.
Oh, I definitely think so. Because if we end up merging drop bears, then we should be able to have only 4 spots. So there would be one lucky winner.
So what you're saying is essentially the coalition isn't completely solidified after factoring in, players dropping out. We would have room for one alliance, and it would politically behove alliances for that.
Of course, if you win the lottery, then I have no choice but to give you the pay.
And your second question, Admiral?
My second question is for Cassius. We've had some private discussions. Have you given any thought to, my offer?
Can we know what the offer was?
Well, it kind of ties in with that first question. I enjoyed playing with several of the members in Clique League, I should say, last alpha, and I see what's going on down there between Baka and Clique League, and I'm itching to fight. In any case, with having one extra potential slot, pretty sure of it, one extra alliance slot in our coalition available, I did.
Wait. The coalition have 5 alliances already?
Yeah, but we expect to trim out some of the people, who end up quitting the game over.
Interesting. So the question to Cassius.
Should I answer it now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh yeah, of course we gave it a thought, and but we had our minds with the Operation Baka, and it's going pretty good. We made that, that chat group, and we didn't quite trust everyone there, so we did doing it separately against that. But after that thing, we talked more politics, me and you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it seems like everybody's doing some political talks behind the scene, and it seems like the political scene is very active on server 1. All of you seem to be engaged in talk with somebody. So
I've got a fun question for the people then. Since everybody has denied wanting to work with Baka in any shape or form, are the people who are not already engaged with Baka going to just leave it to their neighbours, like the Baka neighbours, to deal with? Or are they going to be sending across support
to the sector? Wild is they have been have been working with Baka, so it's not.
I just said I'm pro cartoons and pro dank memes.
Okay, so
who isn't pro dank memes?
So let's move to the final phase of this discussion. Admiral, is there any statement you would like to have to make before the people of server 1?
Yeah. The game is still very much up in the air. There's still a lot of political intrigue going on, a lot of potential allies. I want to say that with the fix to Navy base coming up soon, that I can't speak for Singularity or the Coalition, but myself as a player, I do have some targets in mind. Let's just say that.
Okay, Ian, you have a statement for us?
I would just like to acknowledge that the Orange Fleet grown more than me and Frozen expected it, and we have a support of very active and some of the players that are watching us right now that helped us a lot through the last month, and just want to wish everybody a nice game and that the politics is going well, and that's it.
That's beautiful. Cassius, you got a statement for us?
Fuck, I didn't hear a word of that, man. I was writing to Admiral, so you have to start all over again.
No. Do you have a statement you would like to declare to the people of server 1?
Oh, just have a good evening. Thank you for the talk. That's it.
Cannibal, you got a statement for us?
Yes, I do, actually. So, just want to let everyone know that no matter how much pain they have to endure, there are those who find comfort in living as beasts. Do not subject yourselves to them. That's all I got.
Wonderful. Ezebab, got a statement for us?
Yeah, I think that Baka's gonna get blown out, and everybody needs to figure out what they're gonna do about the Sing block.
Gladwin, Arenkenia.
Hey, we're having a great time playing the game. Thank you very much for making it. We also only have 3 alliances in our coalition. May look like 4, but I know some of you larger coalitions and alliances. If you're looking for some allies, we're small, but we're willing to talk.
Pizza time.
Yeah, just wish everyone a good night except Baka. Can't wait to see them go down in a fire explosion.
Ooh.
That's about it.
Omni, you got a statement for us?
Good luck. Don't be number one.
And Flaz, Lloydski.
Yeah, I've got one. So the Federation, we remain active on server 1 mainly, but we're basically Hydra now because all the other alliances here are inactive, and we're sort of absorbing all the active players. So even though we're new and we're still learning a lot as we're looking to get in the big leagues basically. So we'll continue to push to activate our Dyson sphere, but we're really open to diplomacy because we haven't really spoken too much with anyone. So if you're interested in getting in touch, just drop me a DM on Discord. But apart from that, just remember that service guarantees citizenship.
Squadger.
As the ambassador of the Phoenix sector, we'd like to obviously encourage everybody's diplomacy to absolutely everyone except Baka. And we you know, while our confederation looks to be full at the moment, we're obviously still looking to work with others to help them rise up as well. You say we're not looking to take that top spot, but we are certainly looking to work with others to hit that 2 and 3.
And you, Wild, you got a statement for us?
Yeah, thank you for having the roundtable. Thanks for the game. It's wonderful. Wildly inappropriate. You know, just happy to be here. Bringing a great crew, and Whiteout's the best dot.
Can I make one final point? Just really sorry.
Go ahead, Scorcher.
I'd like to say thank you, Baka, for making it damn interesting. It's certainly more fun with you guys around.
I concur. Admiral, you have a request and a declaration?
Yeah, the request is if we could see kind of a summary list of all the coalitions that have revealed themselves. And then the declaration is of war against Baka. I am looking forward to hearing any other alliances who wish to join in, but I am formalizing a declaration. I think Baka have some great strategy and tactics, but there are other reasons beyond that as to why I am forming this declaration. I'm sure pretty much everyone in this channel is aware of those reasons and probably have similar reasons. But yeah, this means war, guys.
So if I'm to summarize tonight's talk, guys, it would say that the political side of the game is very healthy. There are several blocks of power working towards the top 3 spots, and Baka seems to have made a lot of enemies. So
Can I ask something?
Yes.
Why is all this talk about top 3 spots? Who wants the number 3? Doesn't everyone want number 1?
The top 3 coalitions get a special avatar as a reward.
Ah, okay.
So, again, thank you so much, guys, for joining us. You guys have a good evening, and sally forth and conquer a galaxy, commanders.
Of course.